So we can start.
Yes.
Hard work will not only lead to success, but also to happiness, which is the greatest gift of life. Hello and welcome everyone. So for starting a new chapter of learning, I, Nidhi Sahu, have the pleasure of being here as a host for today's international webinar and wanted to extend a warm greetings to all of you present here. I hope you are doing amazing. On behalf of SIMS family, I welcome you all for today's webinar on the topic Master the Art of Public Speaking. So I see quite a number of people joining us. Before I proceed, let me take a brief moment of introduction of my organization. SIMS Welfare Foundation is a not-for-profit entity established to work in the area of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development, entrepreneurship, livelihood generation, employability, health, research, culture, international cooperation, sports, environment, protection, or any other similar sector. We promote healthy lives, balanced and active communities, and strong businesses. It allows the volunteer members to concentrate their energies and efforts on long-term goals when freed from day-to-day details. I have discussed earlier about today's topic for this international webinar, Master the Art of Public Speaking, by the speaker of the day, Muhammad Ashraf. So, I would like to introduce today's presenter and speaker, Muhammad Ashraf. He is a public speaker, career strategist, helping people identify personal goals, develop leadership skills, and plan career moves. As a founder and director of Ascent Training Academy, he has a trainer over 70,000 students and working professionals across India on how to crack interviews and get their dreams job. He is also the author of book You Are Hired, Proven Step to Get Your Dream Job. His area of expertise, one-on-one mentoring, career development program, getting your dream job, public speaking techniques. So before going further, I request all of the participants to remain mute throughout the webinar. If any doubt occurs, you can type in the chat box or you can raise your hands. Now, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our guest speaker, Muhammad Ashraf. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Nidhi. That was a wonderful introduction. Okay, so before we get started, everyone, I see a lot of people, not so many people, but yeah, there are almost 28 people here. So before we get started, since it's called as, the session is called as Master the Art of Public Speaking, just imagine me being in front of all of you and I could see your names, but I can't see you. I can't see you who you are. I can't see your face. So before we get started, I have so much information to give you on how you're supposed to go on stage and what you're supposed to talk. But before we get started, may I request all of you to turn on your cameras just for maybe 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I'm not asking for more, okay? Just for 10 seconds. Why? Because that fills up my energy. Okay, that fills up my energy. It's not like, I can see the names and I don't know, I have to imagine your face. Not going to happen. If I see you, my energy levels come up and automatically, oh, I get to know. I'm speaking to so many people here. Nice to see you, Pooja, Azhar, okay, Anna, and Bharo, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the names, in different ways. I'm sorry about that. Dharmendra, Anant, Pooja, Mausmi, thank you very much. Abhishek, Saddam. Okay, let me see all of you. Come on, everybody, turn on your cameras. Okay, there's Laiba here, and there's Abhishek, there's Samaksh. Okay, let me see, Ritik. Okay, I hope I pronounced the name right. All right. So this is how my energy levels automatically increase the moment I see you. Can you just imagine? Okay. So that's how it goes, everyone. Thank you very much, Shalini. And there's Abhishek Pathak here. And let me see some more. Everybody, just 10 seconds. I'm not asking for more. It's my responsibility to keep you engaged for next 1 hour. But it's your responsibility to just give me 10 seconds. Okay. I'm not asking for more. 10 seconds it is, everyone. 10 seconds. Okay, let's see who else. Okay, I think I've seen everyone here. Can I ask others also to join, to turn on your cameras? 10 seconds, 10 seconds, yeah. Because the screen will be full of energy, a lot of people here. Okay, a lot of people, yeah. So I want everyone to see each other, and that's how it goes. All right, all right. Thank you very much. I have seen a lot of you guys. And again, it's not like, just now you turn on the camera, but at the end also I'm going to ask, please make sure that you are, there. And also I'll be giving you a lot of techniques on public speaking, whether it's online or offline, both the techniques. So if you have pen and paper, you can utilize this and write down so that next time when you go on a stage, you can use this. What happens here is if we listen, we forget. But if we make a note of it, we remember it forever. Okay, so that's why everyone, please make sure if you have, if you find something interesting, please make a note of it. So thank you very much for turning on the cameras. Okay, now you can turn off the cameras and I will get started with my presentation. All right, so I'm not sure, how many of you are working professionals here and how many of you are students. May I know in the chat section, can you let me know in the chat section, you're a student or a working professional? Whatever experience, even 6 months of experience is also fine. I consider you as a working professional. So are you a student? Are you working or are you employed or self-employed, whatever? Please let me know in the chat section, everybody. Let me see who I'm speaking to, because I can fine tune my talk according to the audience I have. All right. Let me see here. Just give me a moment. Okay, so there is Anant who says a student, I mean the student. Okay, Ranjani says working professional, student and intern. Pooja says that. Okay, Samaksh says working professional. Saddam says student. Mausmik says student. Abhishek student. Shalini student. All right, Winston student. A lot of students. All right, Winston is a teacher. Brilliant. Okay, and Gloria is employed. All right, Aliva student. Okay, so I see that it's like a 60 to 40 ratio here. 40% are students, and 60% are students, and 40% are working professionals. So I'm going to give the entire technique in that way itself. All right. So let me get started, everyone. Let me start sharing the screen here. Just give me a moment. All right. Okay. So let me share the screen here. Okay, so first and the foremost thing, I'll be talking a little bit about public speaking and all that. Yes, I call it as an art. Why? Because we cannot do it at once. It's going to be, you need to learn basic techniques, the psychology of a human being to make sure that your audience listens to you. Okay, I'll come up with different techniques. But yeah, as Nidhi said, she has introduced me very well, so I don't have to introduce myself. But let me tell you one important thing here. And that is this. Okay, from childhood, we have been told, study well and you'll get a good job. Study well and you'll get a good job. Study well and you'll get a good job. I'm sure all of you have heard about this statement. Everyone has heard about this statement. And just like you guys have heard this statement and trying to follow the same statement, I followed the same statement. So from childhood, we have been, I've been told, I follow the system. If I study well, I'm going to get a good job. If I'm study well, I'm going to get a good job. But I studied well, and I got into engineering, and I was about to graduate. And in the final semester, I was the top 3 in the class. But at that particular point of time, I was not at pleased. Okay, and that's when I asked myself this question. Everyone told me study well and get a good job, but I was the top 3 in the class. Why am I not getting a job? And that's when I realized, there are 2 set of techniques here. One is academic skills, and one is something called as the, communication or your personality. Okay, there are two set of skills which you need to have, whether you're going to get a job as a fresher, as a working professional, or as an entrepreneur. If you're going to sell something, your ideas to your employees or to anybody as such, there are two set of skills. One is academic skills and one is your personality, personal skills. So coming to the personal skills here, when I was graduating, I didn't have, I was not so confident on the stage, nor I was like this before. And during that particular point of time, I realized maybe I need to fine tune my entire personality. And I started, working in a company. And I worked 3 years in a company, and my brother was also going through the engineering, and even he was also going through rejections. And that's when I realized it's not just me or my brother. Most of the people across India, we have been told this statement, but no one has told us how to change our personality, how to be confident, how to make sure that you are having that presence on the stage, how to make sure when you open your mouth everyone listens to you properly. Okay, so no one has told us that, and that's why I quit my job and I started working. And over the last couple of years I have done these things, like this is my last 7 years journey. Okay, so this is about me from being a student who is like, who got rejected multiple times in the campus placements, to someone who is helping so many thousands of, people across India and the world. Now, one of the ways, the reason why I was able to grow faster was because of my mentors. And I'll have a quick run. I'm grateful for these mentors, and that's why I'm sharing their pictures with you, because I'd have, the only reason I've grown faster is because of them. Okay. So I'll just skip through the slides and we'll directly get into the thing here. So since a lot of students are here, okay, a lot of students are here in this particular room with me, I'm sure all of you know, so let me ask you this question. So since like 60% of the students are here in this room, may I know what are the different rounds in the campus placements? Can you let me know in the chat section, everyone? What are the different rounds, campus placement interview rounds, which you have to go through to get the job offer? Can you let me know in the chat section? What are the multiple rounds? Okay, there's assessment test. Okay, that's aptitude test. What else? What are the multiple rounds there? There's GD round. Okay, brilliant. There's aptitude. All right. So you're absolutely right. All of you are absolutely right. Even for the working professionals, if you're going to go for a job, there are multiple rounds, as you can see that. So, all right, case study round as well. Brilliant. So now, everybody, let me share the screen here right now. So there are different set of rounds. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. I think there's a slight glitch there. Let me share the screen here. Okay. All right. So I think, there's like glitch because of the interview process, the internet here. So there are 4 rounds here. So everybody, there are only 2 rounds from my angle. The first round is the aptitude round. Let me share the screen here. The first round is the aptitude round. The remaining 3 rounds, whether it is group discussion, whether it is technical interview, whether it is personal interview, these 3 rounds is designed for you to speak. Okay. In group discussion, what do you have to do? You have to sit. Okay, a group of people will sit together and there'll be a topic given and you have to speak. Okay, in technical interview, what happens? They'll ask you questions and you have to answer, and that means you have to speak. And in personal interview, they'll ask you in interview questions like, tell me about yourself, where do you see yourself in next 5 years, and you have to speak. Okay, so in short, okay, the remaining 3 rounds, group discussion, technical interview, and personal interview, is designed for you to speak. Now, why exactly is it designed in such a way that for you to speak is because of this? Let me tell you this. In the public speaking industry, there's a saying which goes like this. I'll repeat this. The saying which goes like this, and that is this. The moment you open your mouth, you show to the world who you are. I'll repeat this. The moment you open your mouth, you show the world who you are. What does it mean? It means if I sit with you and we have a one-on-one conversation, whatever it is, it can be a general conversation, not just any technical concept, but any general conversation. If I sit with you and have a one-on-one discussion, I can literally get to know what kind of personality you are. What does it mean? We can easily get to know whether you're a confident person or do you have self-doubt within. Are you a passive person or are you aggressive person? Everything can be, judged, understood by the way you speak. And that's why, okay, the remaining 3 rounds are designed for you to check your public speaking, especially your speaking skills. Why? Because through your speaking skills, we can easily get to know what kind of personality you are. Now, again, why group discussion and all that is put up is because we can hire you for any company and put you in any company, and we can train you for 6 months in any company and make you an expert in that particular domain in 6 months, 3 to 6 months. But can we change your personality in 3 to 6 months? We cannot. And that's why, everybody, you need to understand that your speaking skills is nothing but your personality. How you speak, how you convey, how people listen to you, whether people listen to you or not, that all brings up your personality. Now, let me share the screen here. Let me go to this. Okay. So again, for the students I have discussed right now, for the working professionals, whether you want to get promoted or you want to go and sit in front of a HR and ask for the pay hike, or in front of your manager, or if you want to become a leader, or if you want to influence people in your team, okay, or you want to be a CEO, whatever it is, whatever your goals are, you need to have this set of skill, and that is your speaking skills. And speaking, not just speaking, but the way people listen to you, whether people listen to you 100% or not. Next, the ability to consistently speak with clarity and authenticity, okay, is an advantage whether you are in meetings, you're in presentations, you're in networking events, interviews, or sales calls, or even in your personal life, okay. The ability to speak with clarity and authenticity. Okay, so that's why your speaking skills play a very important role. Now, let me go to this next thing here. If some of you are entrepreneurs in this particular audience right now, let me tell you this. If you are an entrepreneur, then if you have this idea, the only way you can convince and hire people in your team is that you need to sell that idea to the people and they will come on board. You need to sell your idea or product or service to the customers, then they will come on board and buy the product or thing from you. So that's why, again, if you're an entrepreneur, your speaking skills matter. Okay, so whether you're a student, working professional, or an entrepreneur, for all of you, for all of us, speaking skills play a very, very important role. Now, the techniques which I'm going to give you to you right now for the next 30 minutes, okay, these techniques are not just for, public speaking skills. It can be anywhere. It can be a one-on-one conversation. It can be 1 to 10 or 1 to 10,000. the techniques remain the same. Okay, the techniques remain the same. So you can use it anywhere. So let me just go for this. Now, coming to the, I'm sure some of you have seen this chart in your, engineering colleges or, in your colleges and all that. But let me come to the communication part here. You can see here, our communication is divided into three things here. First is your verbal, next is your vocal, and next is your visual. Okay, so what does this mean? It means you can call anybody else here and they can present the same PPT here, but the way they are going to convey these ideas is going to be different, and the way I convey this idea is going to be different. Okay, and that's why verbal, whatever words has only 7% weightage. Next, 38% is your vocal, how you change your tone, how you utilize your tone. Next is your visual, okay, your body language, your eye contact, and everything. All right. So in short, you can see here 55% is for the body language and the visual. That means how you behave, how your body language, your eye contact, your the way you walk, everything will be observed. And next is your vocal, and then the last thing is your words. Okay, so if you feel that I have to improve on my words, yes, you have to. But more than that, you need to improve on your body language and also your voice. Okay, two things. Now, you can see here, visual, I have mentioned, body language, and vocal is your tone, tempo, and volume. Okay, let me go to the next. Now, first thing here, okay, the first thing which I want to say here is this. Okay, you need to understand this. And, I have learned this technique from some of my mentors. You need to understand this, just like how we have a unique thumbprint. All of you, just like, look at your thumbprint, and it is unique to you. It is unique to you. Okay, no one has this kind of thumbprint. Okay, it is unique to you. Just like how you have a unique thumbprint, you have a unique voice. You have a unique voice. You need to discover your voice. What does it mean? I'll come to that. Okay, so in short, what's your voice designed to do in this world? I'll come to that particular point here. So communication is the distance between you and everything you want. Okay, communication is the distance between you and whatever you want. You want to get that job, you want to get that pay hike, you want to go and sell the product. It's the distance between you and everything you want. So the faster you reduce this distance, the faster you're going to be successful. Okay, now your voice is unique to you, as I said before. Now, let me just come to this. Okay, so before I share the next slide, let me tell you this. No other animal on this planet Earth has been blessed with this beautiful tool, and that is our voice. You can see anyone, like, you can say, so parrot can, like, speak. But I can ask you this. Parrot can speak, but can it speak on its own? We have to teach the parrot. At the same time, can it create an emotion within you when the parrot speaks? Okay, but we as human beings, we have this beautiful tool, and through our voice, okay, through our unique voice, we can lift the confidence of people. At the same time, through our voice, we can shatter the confidence of people. We can build hope. We can make people happy. At the same time, through our voice, we can put people in depression as well. So that's why your voice is unique to you. All right, you need to understand this. Now, the next thing which I want to convey here is this. Every time you open your mouth, like, every time you say some words, you invoke, like, you bring out certain thoughts and feelings in the other listener's mind. Always remember this, whether it is in your personal life or your professional life or on a stage, every time you say a word, a sentence, or whatever you want to convey, you bring, okay, thoughts and feelings in the audience, okay, in the front of a listener. Okay, so you bring out those thoughts and feelings in front of a listener, and whenever you start speaking, you need to understand this. Every time you open your mouth, you need to understand what people are feeling, what people are thinking, and what people are doing. Okay, what does it mean? Let me give an example here. You can see the most powerful person in India right now is the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Okay, and he has this beautiful skill. Okay, that is his public speaking skills. Okay, anybody, not just the politicians or the prime minister, but the CEOs, the influencers out there. Okay, they have this beautiful skill, and that is they make them feel good. Okay, make them think good, and they do whatever they get things done from the people as well. In short, I'll go back to this one particular thing wherein you can go back to President Barack Obama's speech, and he used one particular word, and that is hope. Okay, hope. So once he started speaking hope, okay, his entire campaign was designed towards hope. And every time he went on stage, he spoke about hope, and people started feeling hopeful. They started thinking that yes, America needs to be much more better, stronger, and hoping for a better things. They started thinking, and because they felt hopeful, and they started thinking things are going to get better. The only thing was they did what Barack Obama wanted to do, that is they voted for him. So what do I want people to feel, think, and do? Let me tell a small saying here. I mean, there's a quote here which goes like this: the more they listen to you, the more they respect you. And once they start respecting you, they will do whatever you want them to do. I'll repeat this: the more they listen to you, anybody, it's just one person or 1,000 people, the more they listen to you, the more they respect you. And once they start respecting you, they will do whatever you want them to do. Okay, so that's why, okay, if you want to influence people, you need to make sure that you make people feel good when you speak. You make people think what you want them to think, and you can also make people do whatever you want them to do through your voice. Okay, that's why it's the most powerful weapon you have got. Okay, next, there's an affirmation which I'm going to give you to you. Like, I'm sure you are attending this session. That means you want to learn these techniques. So even before anything, let me tell this affirmation that is this: every time I open my mouth, I am responsible for what I say, and I am responsible for how it lands. I'll repeat this: every time I open my mouth, I'm responsible for what I say, and I'm responsible for how it lands. Okay, so you need to have this affirmation. Why? Because as I said before, your voice is unique to you. So you need to be very, very choosy and careful about what you say to people. Okay, next, as I said before, your words have the power to bring life in others. You can literally create hope in people. At the same time, you can also shatter the confidence of people. Now, just like, think for 10 seconds, think about 3 names. Okay, think about 3 people where your communication in your life, personal or professional, it doesn't matter, where your communication is amazing with these 3 set of people. Think about it. It can be anyone, your parents, your spouse, or your brother or sister, sibling, anybody. Okay, I hope you got the name. Next, think about 3 people's name where your communication is a bit strained. Okay, maybe you're not talking to them right now. Think about these people, why the communication is a bit strained. Okay. Yes, I'm sure, thought about this. All right. So I've made you realize just now that your communication is good with certain people, and your communication is also not that great with certain set of people. So in short, what I'm trying to tell you here is your voice is a fingerprint unique to you. You need to understand you have a beautiful weapon, and that is your voice. Okay. So now, everybody, I hope till now, we are clear on this, why exactly your speaking skills play a very, very important role for you to grow faster in your personal or professional life. Okay, so this is what I wanted to convey. Next, let me just give me a moment. All right, next here is, everybody, let me tell you this. All of us, me and all of you here, we have 2 images. How many images? 2 images. Okay. Can you guess what are those 2 images? Let me know in the chat section. Can you guess what are those images? If take a guess, what are those images? All of us have 2 images. Okay, what are those images? Can you let me know in the chat section? Let me just check here. Okay. Positive and negative one of oneself. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Pramod. Anybody else? As I said, we have two images. Okay. What are those two images? Can you take a guess in the chat section, everyone? Who I say is personality. Brilliant. Anand says one we show to the outside world and one who we really are. Yeah. Brilliant, Anand. Thank you very much for that. Mausmi says good and bad images. All right. Laiba says good and bad. And speaker and listener. Anna says, okay. Pramod says, okay, Jekyll in Heidelman, all right. Ashto says personality. Brilliant. Okay, so thank you very much for answering that. Now let me go to this particular slide here. So everybody, we all human beings have two images, and that is the first one is what? That is our visual image, and that is how we look. Okay. See, I'm sure, when you entered the Zoom meeting here, okay, the moment you looked at me, you unconsciously judged me. Okay, he's the person. Okay, unconsciously. Okay, you judged me. That is one. Next, the next thing here is once I started speaking, within 3 to 5 minutes, you decided whether to listen to this session or not with full attention. Second. Okay, so all of us have two images. One is a visual image and one is a vocal image. Okay, so now everybody, why did I share this two images with you is because, see, visual image can be bought. What does it mean? Okay, visual image, we can buy, if we have more money, we can buy luxury items, whatever you want to buy, the best suit or the best blazer or the shoes or the watch. You can buy anything with money and you can change your entire visual image to a certain extent. Okay, and obviously you have to work hard for the, having fitness, obviously. So, but that is visual image. That can be changed, okay, and that can be bought as well. But can you buy your vocal image? You cannot, because your voice is unique to you, and that means your voice is your personality. Your voice is your personality. Okay, so especially for students here, if you're going for campus placements or interviews or anything like that, the moment, when you're sitting, when the recruiter is sitting here, and the moment you enter the hall, he looks at you and he unconsciously judges you. Okay, next, the way you speak, may I come in, sir, and the way you introduce yourself within this within this 1 minute or 30 seconds of time, he has unconsciously judged whether to ask you more questions or not. Okay, so that's why your vocal image also plays a very important role. And as I said, your voice is your personality. Now, coming to the public speaking here, okay, first is there is two angles here. One is inspiration, one is education. Okay, so when you're speaking, well, either you inspire people or you educate people. You can do both as well. Okay, so first thing, on stage, okay, or in the Zoom session, this is again, a public speaking. Master the art of public speaking. It's supposed to be on stage, but right now I'm doing this in Zoom, and it's going, I'm sure, you're able to give attention here. So now, as I said before, first and foremost thing here is your energy matters. When you're on stage, okay, your energy matters. And that's for everyone. When I started this session, I was looking at the screens here, the blank screen here, and I could see a lot of names there, but I cannot connect with people because I couldn't see who they are. And that's why I asked you to turn on the cameras. The moment I see you, okay, I get to know, it's designed here. Okay, I'm speaking to this set of people. Okay, so that's how your energy changes. So your energy matters when you go on stage, and especially the first 5 minutes. Okay, and the remaining, entire journey is obviously your energy matters, but the first couple of minutes, your energy has to be at the peak. Okay, first is your energy matters. Next thing here is your body talks. Okay, your body talks. All right, That is the second thing. I'll come, I will discuss more on this part in the next upcoming slides. So everybody, before I go for the next slide, I want to ask you, everybody, may I know which is your favorite sport? Like in a chat section, which is your favorite sport? What do you play? Cricket or football or whatever it is. Like, let me know in the chat section, which is your favorite sport? Basketball. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Pooja. Okay, football. Anand. All right. Cricket, badminton, playing marbles. All right, brilliant. Mami says basketball. Brilliant. Azu says cricket. Okay. Dharmendra says football. All right. Pooja says cricket. Shalini says football. Okay. Shelly says cricket. Brilliant. Okay. Gloria says badminton, volleyball. Thank you very much. Okay, for giving the answers here. Anna says none. Okay, but let me, now let me come to this point. Thank you very much for that, Anna. All right. Now. Okay, Nidhi, I think you can you mute the audience? Okay, so everybody, if you are playing some sport, like the cricket or football or badminton, I'm sure like you have to have a lot of physical stamina to go there and run around and do the thing here. Similarly, okay, communication is a full body sport. Okay, communication is a full body sport, especially when you're on stage. Communication is full body sport. What do I mean by that? That means like, you need to be aware of your hands, your energy levels, and your walking, the way you make an eye contact, everything matters here. Okay. And that's why I'm telling communication is a full body sport. It requires, if you really want to influence people and make sure that your audience is attentive and focused towards you, what you're saying, then you need to consider it as a full body sport and use your hand gestures, use your eye contact, use your tone, the way you walk, the way you make an eye contact, everything matters. Okay. So, and the most important thing you need to realize is this: you need to be aware of your hands. That means your body language. Okay. Just imagine if I was not using hands from last 20 minutes to 40 minutes. Imagine that. Okay. So that's why you need to be aware of your hands and you need to use it. Okay. So think yourself, okay, as a musician, your voice is the song, okay, and your body, the way you walk, the way you use your hands, the way you make an eye contact, that is an instrument. Okay, we can play the song, but if there's no instrument, there's no body language, the song looks plain. Okay, it doesn't make that much sense. But if there's music attached to the song, then it'll be memorable forever. Okay, that's why everyone, you need to use your body language, your eye contact and everything to make sure that audience listens to you. All right. So, and next, coming to this, whether it's a public speaking or non-public speaking, whether it's one-on-one conversation or 1 to 10,000 people there, doesn't matter. The techniques remain the same. Okay. As I said, it remains the same. Okay. Practice the same techniques on and off the stage. So there is consistency in the experiences people have with you. Okay. See, every time you meet someone, they experience you through the way you speak, through the way you make them feel, what you say. So you need to be aware of this. So there are different types of speakers. Okay. The first type of speaker is informational speaker, that is intellectual speaker. Okay. He teaches and provides information, especially the professors and all that. So they are into the education department. So informational speaker, providing information, certain specific domain information. That's one. Next, motivational speaker, that is inspires and jumpstarts the audience. Okay. Next is inspirational speaker, inspires, works from the inside out. Okay. And finally, the last speaker is the transformational speaker, committed to breakthroughs, provides information, motivation, and inspiration. Okay. I'll repeat this. A transformational speaker brings about a transformation in the audience. That is, he provides information, He motivates people and he inspires them to take action with that information. Okay, so that's why transformation speaker. So my suggestion for everyone here is to become a transformation speaker, wherever it is, whichever domain, whether you're giving a presentation, whether you're making the sales call, or you are going and cracking that interview, doesn't matter. You need to transform the person who's listening to you. Okay. All right. Now, the next technique, the next thing here is this. How many of you are scared to go on stage? How many of you have the fear of public speaking? Say yes in the chat section. Anand says yes. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Okay, Dharmendra, Azhar, Ashok, Manvi, Laiba. All right. Okay. Pooja says, all right, Gloria, and Pramod and Hema Malini. All right. Thank you very much for answering that. Okay. Let me share the screen right now. Okay. So if you have the fear and anxiety, it's common. I mean, don't worry, because what happens here is fear, okay, is basically a perception what exactly the other person is going to think about me. Okay, let me go to the next slide and you'll understand better. See, just like how when you feel happy, okay, you feel good, you have a relationship with happiness. Fear is also an emotion, and you have a relationship with fear. Okay, so just like happiness, fear is also an emotion. You don't understand this. And what happens here is fear is basically a story, okay, which we tell to ourselves, okay, which has not even happened, which has not even happened. It is a fictional story which we tell to ourselves. That means, like, if I go on stage, what will people think? Will I be able to do better? All this, the fictional story, which is not the reality, which we tell to ourselves, that pulls us down, and that will not, if you have a fear of public speaking, it will not help you take action. That means you will never ever go on stage. Okay, that is one. Or it slows you down. Or if you have fear, you need to understand, you need to do a little bit of research why you have that fear. Okay, so these are the three things which you need to understand. So fear is a story which has not yet happened, which we keep telling ourselves again and again, and that's why we hold ourselves back and we don't go on stage. So you need to change the story. So instead of telling that story and imagining that something wrong is happening, you can think that once you go on stage, everyone is listening to you and everyone is happy to listen to you. If you just change that belief, fear is gone. Okay, so fear is a made-up story. Okay, as I said before, is a made-up story about something that has not yet happened. Like, that's not happened yet, but we feel that it's going to happen, and that's why we don't take action. All right. And that's why we want, you need to change the story in your head and then go on stage. And let me tell you this, public speaking, obviously there's a lot of practice required. It's not like, one fine day we get enlightened and we say, okay, I'm ready to go on stage. Not going to happen. You need to practice. First time you're going to go on stage, you will mess it up a bit. Next, you'll go on stage, you'll mess it up. Third time you'll go on stage, you'll mess it up. But the fourth time when you're going on stage, you'll realize 3 times I went on stage and I did this mistake. Let me change this. Fourth time, it'll be better. Okay. Fifth, and just like that, 15, 28th time, done. All the fear, all the things which are holding you back is done. And you will, you to change your personality. At the same time, people will listen to you more and more. Okay. So practice. So the next thing here is, okay, coming to the tone here, okay, coming to your vocal image, okay. Let me ask you, like, all of you, do you remember, I'm sure all of you have your favorite song, okay. I'm sure all of you have this, any one favorite song which you have, and I'm sure you remember that favorite song, at least word by word, like, at least 70% of the song. You say yes or no in the chat section. All of you, do you have your favorite song? Yes. And do you remember the entire, the words, you can just hum, like, can go on and on. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay.
Sir.
So just like your favorite song, let me just take a book here. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay, so just like your favorite song, okay, you remember everything, like, all the entire song out there. If I give you this book and ask you to read a page, okay, one page from this book, I'm sure you'll read this, but will you be able to recollect the entire thing? Say yes or no in the chat section. Will you be able to recollect the entire, word by word? Word by word, can you say it to me once you close the book? No, of course not. Okay. And let me tell you this particular strategy. Why did I ask you this? Because it's the same thing. A song has almost 280 to 300 words. A single page has 280 to 300 words. Okay, I'll repeat this. A song has 200 to 300 words. Even a single page, any book which you read, any book, okay, 200 to 300 words. The only reason why we remember that particular song, okay, word by word, is because there's a melody attached to it. There's a tone, there's a music attached to it, okay? And that's why everyone, you need to understand that your vocal image, okay, you will be remembered on stage, or a person is going to remember you even if you speak to that person for 5 minutes, just by the way you use this, and that is melody, how you use your tone, how you fluctuate your tone. Okay, so that's the vocal image. Let me just, so when you add melody to your voice, it becomes memorable. It becomes memorable. Okay, just now I used melody. I'll give you some more techniques. So the first technique, I'll give you 3-4 techniques, and after that, I think we'll end this session. Okay. So the first technique, okay, is called as verbal highlighting. Okay. I'm sure all of you have used a highlighter to mark something important in your book. Okay. So why? Because that is important, and you felt that is important, and you highlighted it. And similarly, this technique that is called as verbal highlighting in public speaking, and that is this. Okay. To highlight, to emphasize certain particular moments in your message. If you want to convey one particular important message to your audience, you can highlight those words in the listener's mind. That is called as verbal highlighting. And how we do the verbal highlighting, let me give you the 3 techniques here. 1, you can slow down your voice and pace words with rhythm. That's the first technique, verbal highlighting. Or speak with more assertiveness, or lower your voice and speak in almost faint whisper. This is verbal highlighting. And if you check, from last 45 minutes I've been in front of you, I have used these techniques. I've used this technique so many times. Sometimes I lowered my voice. Sometimes I, with assertiveness. Sometimes I said, okay, I almost, came closer to you guys, and I spoke in faint whispers. So that's how it is. This is called as verbal highlighting. Okay, that's first technique. Next, what is this technique? The next technique is called as the powerful pause. Okay, powerful pause is a beautiful technique. I use the verbal highlighting again. Okay, so powerful pause is a beautiful technique, and in the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, he uses this. Why? Because if you give a pause, the audience, okay, gets curious. What is he going to say next? Okay, that's powerful pause. Okay, a powerful pause gives your statement to land and enroll the listener before you move to the next topic. So if you want to say something important, you can give a small pause there and then speak that word. Okay, that will land, that word will land into the listener's mind. Okay, so again, powerful pause is applicable for 1 to hundreds of people. Next, show your story. Okay, show your stories, creating an oral movie. Okay, when I started this session, I'm sure I said, from childhood, we have been told study well and get a good job, study well and get a good job. And then I connected it to the personality. Then I connected it to the speaking skills. So I started with a small story, and then, then I showed the importance of how your speaking skills plays a very important role. So you need to have an oral movie, whether it is in, interviews or when you're selling your products or services. Okay. So several techniques to show your story is first is paint a picture in your listener's head. Okay, one. Or show what were you thinking in that moment, or show what were you feeling in that moment. Okay, showing your story requires you to give more texture, the tone, the body language, everything to give more texture. Okay. So when you go for a HR round in an interview, okay, for working professionals or students, instead of, when they ask this question, tell me about yourself, instead of telling in a monotonous way, if you show the person a story, tell me about yourself, you're going to win that. Okay. And this technique called as parroting technique, if you want to get the attention of the audience, okay, you can repeat one or two words again and again and again and again. If you remember, I told one or two quotes in the beginning. That is, the moment you open your mouth, you show the world who you are. I said it twice. That is parroting technique, because I wanted you to give attention to that particular sentence. Okay. And next technique, the final technique here is called as the siren technique, everyone. So siren technique, if you really want to improve your public speaking skills or change your entire tone, what you have to do here is, every day you open certain book or any book. Okay, you start reading a particular page here. Okay, and how do you read this? Okay, you have to read it loud, but you have to come from low tone, low volume to high volume, and then bring low volume again. For example, you can see here, one afternoon the dog was terribly hungry. He decided to go look for something to eat just outside his house. There was a bridge. I will go look for food on the other side of the bridge, and then bring it down. So if you do this for 5 minutes every single day, okay, your vocal variety comes up. Okay, this changes. So this is called as the siren technique. Okay. So these are the things which I wanted to show to you, like, the different techniques are there. There's a lot of information to give it to you, but we are, about to close the session. But yeah, if you have any questions, I will take the questions right now. I can go on and on, everyone, but since the time is limited, I can take the questions. And if you like, 1 second. Okay, so this is Ashfaq here in LinkedIn, Mohammed Ashfaq. Okay, so I'm a public speaking and a communication coach. So I've been to different colleges across India and companies, and helping people do better presentations, do better in interviews, and do better in sales. So that's how, what I've been doing over the last couple of years, almost 7 to 8 years. And I've trained more than 70,000 students across India and the world right now. So there are so many techniques, but the time constraint, because of that, I could give so much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any questions right now, you can let me know in the chat section.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful webinar. The session was very informative. We are grateful for the time and efforts you took to share your thoughts. We will go ahead to take some time for question now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your question into the chat box.
Okay, shall I go ahead and read the questions, Nidhi, or how is that?
I can?
I think, yes, please go ahead.
Okay. How to start such session for the student who are essentially coming from plain villages?
Okay, so such session for the students who are essentially coming from villages. Okay, let me, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you, I think Shiva here. I also belong to a small town, Shiva, where it's a small taluk, a town. Born and brought up in a small town, and then from last 15 years, I've been living in Bangalore. So it doesn't matter where you come from. So okay, it doesn't matter where you come from. Okay, that's one. Second thing here is I'm sure because in rural different parts of small towns and tier 2 tier 3 cities, obviously there's less communication in English. But once you come to the city, what you have to do here is it's just all about practice. Okay, you need to have certain set of friends. You need to make sure that you put yourself in difficult situations, especially in colleges when there's presentations and all that. You need to go on stage and try to mess it up. Okay, I'll repeat this: practice and mess it up, practice and mess it up. And the more you mess it up, the faster you're going to grow. If you're holding yourself with that story, you can't grow. So that's the only way, Shiva, here, to start such sessions. So instead of starting in English, like if there's a language barrier, you can go to your school. Okay, go to your school and tell your principal that I want to teach 1 or 2 subjects for 2 hours, and see how you're going to do in that session, and come back again. And that's how you start. Okay. Yes, Nidhi. I hope I
The
answered the
second
question.
one, from where to start and what to refer to the skills.
From where to start and what to refer to hone the skills.
Own the
Okay.
skills.
Yeah. As I said here, from where to start, wherever you are right now. Okay. If you're in college or anywhere, and how to hone the skills. See, the moment you go on stage, okay, you will know where exactly you went wrong. Okay, you will know where exactly you went wrong. And once you come back, you can change, or you can work or study about that particular skill and how to improve the tone and all that. And also you can use the techniques which I've given to you just now. Okay, so that's how you do it, Pramod.
The second set is where set of students who are good in interaction, but they have the syndrome called starting trouble while in the interview. How to tackle that students?
Okay, so the starting trouble, always it has happened to me also. So that's why even now, like this session also, there was a starting trouble. And how did I overcome the starting trouble? I asked all of you to come in front of me. Okay, so being aware there is a starting trouble is the first thing, and you are aware of that you have that starting trouble. So that is first. Second thing here is there's a fear attached to that, the story we keep telling. So there's no concept as such that there's some starting trouble. You can easily go. It's just that the story which you have been telling to yourself. So please let go of that belief, and you'll flow there. Yes, Nidhi.
We get counter questions in interview that we don't know, and because of that, we sometimes forget what other things know due to fear and stress. How can we overcome it?
All right. This is turning out to be an interview and all that, but yeah, I'll give you an answer to this. Okay. So in an interview, I'm sure they're going to ask you some questions where you'll not be able to answer it. I'm sure of that. So what you have to do here is you have to be genuine there, like saying, so even though I know a little bit of this answer, but I'm not sure whether I can give the entire answer. What I can do here is I can get back to you on this question by the end of the day. And that's how, when you collect his LinkedIn ID or his email address and reply back to that person. So you're strategically, taking control of that conversation. Okay, that is one. Next thing here is if the fear and anxiety and all that is the story again, which we keep telling ourselves. So that's why most of the HRs these days, they have these icebreakers in the beginning itself, so that they make you comfortable. Like, tell me which place do you belong from, or, all these things. So they create the icebreaker so that they can make you comfortable. So this is how you can handle these things. Yes, Nidhi, next. You're on mute, Nidhi.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Even after preparing, I fall short of words after seeing the crowd. How to overcome it?
Okay. So again, see, most of the things are related to the fear of public
Related. Yeah.
speaking. It's a fear. Okay. It's a story. So when you go on stage and when you're mute, I think the story is whatever story you're told to your head, you're making it true. Okay. So please let go of the story. And when you go on stage, the first thing here is this. You don't have to worry what people are going to think. The first thing here is look around. Look around. Like, if there's almost 100 audience here in front of you, when you go on stage, look from the first row to the last row, and from the right corner to the left corner, last person. When you look around, okay, have a proper gaze, then you'll feel relaxed. And that's what I do every single time. Okay, so that's how you get started. Yes, Nidhi.
So this question is from my side. What type
Mhm.
of practice should we do to improve our speaking skills, and how
Mhm.
should we overcome the fear of public speaking?
Brilliant. So coming to the question here, to all of you, I think the questions are coming again and again. So let me give you a technique, okay? I could have continued the session giving the technique, but that technique I'll give it to you right now. So how to improve the speaking and the public speaking skills? First is you put a phone. I'm sure all of you have done some Insta reels and all that. So you put a phone in front of you and you speak some content out there, something like, for 5 minutes, and and record yourself. And once you do that, what you do here is close the phone and just listen to yourself. Do not look at the video. Listen to yourself. That is called as audio audit. Next thing here is check your phone and mute yourself and see your expression. Okay, that is the second thing. And third thing here is take this video, put it in software and transcribe the video and take a printout of it, whatever words you have said. And you will get to know how many times you use the fillers like all these things. So 3 steps. One is record a video, okay, and listen to your audio first. The words you use, the tone you use. Next thing here is look at your body language. Next thing, read the content which was said. You'll be able to understand what is your body language, what is your verbal delivery, and how you look when you speak. So when you get to do this, that is called as a speaking audit, which I do it for myself also. And if you do this every single day for 2 or 3 months, it's going to be change in personality. That's how you overcome this. Okay, Nidhi? Mute. Are you on mute, Nidhi?
It looks like we have covered all of our questions. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before a wrap up?
No, I think I have covered a lot of things, but yeah, the only thing here is the implementation. Yeah, that's it. I think I got most of it.
The feedback link is on the chat box. Participants, please go through it. Now, everyone, please switch on the camera so that I can take a screenshot.
Yes. So if you say that you have the fear of public speaking, and if you're not turning on the camera, there you go. You're giving the power for the fear. So everybody, turn on the cameras, please. You don't have to speak. You just show yourself. This is the first step. I think we have got most of them. Abhishek. Let us know, Nidhi, when you're taking the screenshot. I don't want to be with my closed eyes. So yeah.
No, I have taken a great picture.
How is it?
Yes. 1, 2, 3. So cheese.
Cheese.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us today. And we will see you next time. I Nidhi signing off for today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you also.
Thank you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
గొప్ప ఈ సేవింగ్స్ మీరు చేసిన సేవ్ కంటే గొప్పగా ఉన్నాయి. హాలిక్స్ పై 28 రూపాయలు సేవ్ చేయండి.
అది బాగున్నారు. మీరెలా ఉన్నారు? నమస్కారం. బాగున్నాను. బాగుంది కదా. నువ్వు మన దామోదరం రెండో కొడుకు ఎవరండి? కూర్చోండి, ఇప్పుడే వస్తాను. నేను ఎవరో గుర్తుపట్టావా?